Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Today's video is going to be a how-to type of a video concretely relating to the Supernote platform. This video and the stuff that I'm going to be talking about today applies to both A5X and the A6X, so it doesn't matter, you can equally apply to either of the two. And in this installment of how-to for Supernote, I am going to go over something that's quite unique to the Supernote platform, and that is the exploration and the description of how you can create your own local or offline, if you want to, backups of your notebooks and document markups in the Supernote's native format. Now, this is a very big deal because all of the other devices basically kind of demand that you back up your own data, stuff that you've done, to their cloud. Not so on the Supernote. So let's explore and see how you can actually do that. Alright, so I have my Supernote here and it's hooked up via direct USB-C cable connection to my computer, as you can see, and I have my setup folders here. So on the left hand side is going to be my Supernote directory structure, and this is just my directories that I'm going to be working with, the files that I've been testing out. Now, the thing that we're going to be testing out, this whole procedure does not mean that you have to be hooked up directly to your computer. I'm just showing both options, basically, if you want it to be completely offline. But if not, I'm running a beta. That's why I have Google Drive here. So that's coming out pretty soon. But yeah, this whole thing will work exactly the same if you're synchronizing with Supernote Cloud, Dropbox, or Google Drive, meaning that you will be able to find the same exact files that I'm talking about here, provided that you choose that you synchronize the folders that are given here. So it doesn't matter if you choose online sync or you have a direct USB connection, the methods and the rules are the same. All right, so what are we going to be talking about here? Well, we are going to talk about the ability to back up and store your notebooks and your document markups in a native format that the Supernote uses, so that you can have your own independent backup and storage of your own data, regardless of if you don't want to have your data on any third-party cloud or anything like that, which means complete control over your own content if you want to have that control. And so far, I believe that the Supernote is the only platform that actually allows you to do that. And I've tested it, and it all the stuff that I've tested just works properly. So here are the things that you have to kind of keep in mind. First, let's talk about file formats. Well, you have two different legacy or native file formats for the Supernote. First one is .note. That is your notebook. The other one you can't see on the device itself. So for that one, we need to go onto the computer here. And remember, this is my Supernote. So if I go into my documents and let's say over here, you will see that, let's just sort them as details. You will see that I have other PDF, same name, mark PDF file, and then the same name, .pdf.mark. So we have .note files for notebooks, and we have .mark files for document markups. And this file itself is the one that's containing all of the handwritten data and all of the stuff that you have. In a notebook, the note file contains all the layer data, links data, keywords, and all the other stuff. Everything is contained there. So what does that mean? How do you actually then create a backup? Well, if you're synchronizing with the cloud, all of the stuff is automatically already backed up, so you have that backup there. But if you want to create a local backup of something, so this is my local drive on the computer, and this is my Supernote. So let's say that I want to create a backup of a notebook. I don't know, let's say workstation build notes. So this is what I was testing before. So I'm going to create a new folder here for video testing purposes, and this is when I'm gonna stuff the testing. This is on my local drive. So let's say that I want to create a backup of my build notes over here. And that's it. So basically, I have just copied over this file, and this is what it looks like. So this is my notebook. I was doing some kind of build of my new workstation and then a fan configuration and things like that. And that's what it has. I've prepared like a more complex notebook. So I'm going to access and make a local copy of that one as well, so that you can actually see how that works. Let me just try and find it. That would be backup testing note, I guess. Yes, that's the one. And this notebook has hyperlinks to MDO 2023. So if I click on this, it will lead to a specific page of my MDO that's located on my Supernote. So then I can return, or I can link to another page of the same notebook with a different template, right? So that's something that I was also testing. And then we have a link to a web page. In this case, it's going to be just Google. I don't know why last time. Maybe I'm not online. I think that I turned it off for this test. Yeah, I turned it off for this test. So, but it works. When you're online, it just works. Then you have a layer for separate content, and that's this line here. So we have layer 1, that's enabled, disabled. We have a title, and we have a keyword that's called test. And if I go to keywords, I will see that we have a test keyword on page 1. So that's that. And then we also have a third page, which is using a custom template, so that I can test all of these functionalities if they are stored and if they are restored, more importantly, correctly onto the device. All right. So let's create that backup as well, back onto the Supernote here. I believe that was, where was it? It was in mydeepguide, and I believe it was called not battery test, but backup testing. So we'll just create that backup over there. All right, so what I'm going to do now is in the notebooks folder, or in mydeepguide here on my Supernote, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call that testing. And I'm going to be copying all of the files into there. And you can see that it instantly appeared on my Supernote. I have these two backups, right? And I'm going to copy these two, and I'm going to test a couple of things. So I'm going to create copies of them. The first one is going to be the direct copy, and the other one is going to be my renamed backup one. So that's going to be this one, and this is going to be my renamed workstation backup. Okay, so that you can actually, well, not work queue station, but workstation. There we go. So these are basically the same files, but I have renamed them so that I can show you it doesn't matter. You can actually rename them and it will work just fine. So on the Supernote, I'm gonna go into my testing folder. So let's go in here as well. Come on, fingers, work. My fingers will, there we go. They work great on the guitar, but really, really not well with touch devices. So I'm gonna copy all of these 4 directly onto the device. As you can see, immediately they're available. So now I have effectively copied the native notebook onto my PC. In these cases, I have modified them because I've renamed them, and then I've put them in a different location onto the Supernote itself. So let's verify. Backup testing note, the original name. this is the one that we had, and it should have a link to MDO 2023, which works just fine. We have a link to another page, works just fine. I'm offline, so the web page won't work, but if I went online, then it would work. Layer is there, keyword and the title are all there, and the references to templates and even custom templates are preserved. So that really worked well. Now let's check out that same backup notebook, but modified title. Is it working? Yep, all of the stuff is there, working fine. Let's see, keywords, titles, yep, all good, linking, all good. So this is really cool, because this is a bit more complex notebook, and of course on the regular notebook it just works as well, pretty much the way you expect it, and the renamed one also works exactly the same. That's it. That's all it takes to actually back up your notebooks on Supernote, is you just copy your associated note file, and that's that. That's freaking amazing. All right, so the second part is going to be backing up of the documents and the associated markup files with the document. Now for that, we're gonna focus on the screen of the computer itself, because it's a little bit different than the notebooks. It's very similar, but you are dealing with two files here. So let's get somewhere. Well, these are empty, but yeah, I think I've prepared actually something. Yeah, so let's go into here to, there we go. So user manuals, Elasis Ion, there we go. So I have this PDF here, so let's go in there and check it out. I have a conflict file, so I can delete that. I don't need it, so that nobody gets confused with that. There we go. So if I open up this document, it actually has some markups, and you can see that on the front page I've drawn this, some lines and some little tiny text here as well, and across the, I think this is it as far as this document goes. So this is a markup on a document. It doesn't matter what you choose it, including MDO, you can actually just do this same thing. And as you can see on the device, we have my actual PDF file, and then I have the .pdf.mark file, and that file, .mark file, is the one that contains your strokes, or the vector data, layer data, brush data, all of the stuff that you input into the document to mark it up, hence the .mark file. So when you are backing up this data, the question is, should you back up both the PDF and the markup file, or just the markup file? Well, it really depends on what you want to do. I think that the best thing would definitely be to back up both of them, because you might lose the PDF. This will contain your markups, but it does not contain any of the page information of the PDF itself. It just contains like on which page, which vectors you have, and that's pretty much it. So when you're backing up, let's test that out. And here we're going to open up a new documents folder on my computer, and I'm just going to create a backup of these two over here. And back on the Supernote, let's exit this document, and back in my Supernote, I'm gonna be using the this .99 or 99 folder here to test this. So I'm going to create a new folder again called testing, and there we go, it appeared immediately. So we're going to go in there, come on finger, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing with this, except that we have to test out several other things. So things that we got to test out with the markup of documents is basically three options. First one is, will the markup only work if you just kind of copy it over? So that means, can I just have a document here, right? And if I just copy the PDF it's a non-marked up PDF file, okay? Now, you will notice one thing, and that's basically as soon as I exit, this one should, there we go. As soon as you access a document on a Supernote, it will create its own associated .mark file, even though this is completely empty and it just has a formatting, device, and basic header information for the file. It still doesn't contain any of the stuff. So this file here is a little bit larger because it contains some data. So right now, I have an empty PDF file. And the first thing I want to test is, if I back up just my .mark file, and I don't care about the PDFs, I know where my PDFs are, can I then at a later point just drag and drop this into here, and will it refresh? And additionally, I want to test out, will it automatically update when I overwrite this file or not? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag from my backup, this is the one which contains the written data, onto the Supernote. It's going to ask me, do you want to copy and replace? Yes, because the first one doesn't contain anything, so I'm going to replace it. .markup, okay, not found. So he doesn't, no, there we go. He found it, he reloaded it, and there we go. All right, so he's not too happy if you do it while the document is open, but it will tell you, hey, something happened, and it will close the document, then you reload it, and that's it. So the best practice would be to copy this with the document closed on your Supernote, just to be on the safe side, to avoid any kind of errors, because obviously it didn't like that, so it didn't cause an error this time, but it's something that might cause an error because it's obviously not meant to do that. However, the whole point is, can you just back up a .markup file without the PDF and then associate it back to a PDF file? And the answer is absolutely yes. So we've also answered the question, because I've copied the same PDF here. Can I back up the PDF and the mark file, and will it work? And the answer here as well is yes, it most definitely works. And the final thing that I want to test out is, can I use a markup of this on another document, right? Can I just grab a different document and then put this over here? So let's copy this file here. This is a different PDF. So if I copy, let's call it other PDF, same marks, right? And you can see that this is a different PDF. Page 1 and 2 doesn't have any markups. Okay, so we're gonna exit and we're going to refresh here to allow that we have this name. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this PDF file. I'm gonna delete the original, the associated marks that it created for, the empty marks that it created for this new PDF. And I'm simply going to rename the old one, the markups with a smiley face from the old document. I'm going to rename it so that it actually has an association which file name I'm looking for. Basically, that's the naming convention of this one. The name of the file before .mark needs to be the whole file name and the extension of the file that you are referencing to. So in this case, it's other PDF, same markup, .pdf.mark. So if I've done things correctly, the Supernote should be fooled and it should show me the other PDF with the same, old markups that were not made for that PDF but for the other one. So let's see. There we go. It took a little while. He was not like, what did you do there? And now it actually figured it out, and there we go. So you can copy your markup, just markups, from one document, and by changing the name of the .mark file to point towards the document we want to point towards, you can associate it with the documents, provided that they are in the same directory on the Supernote. That is the main provision here. So basically, yeah, you can. The question was, can you do local backup, offline backup? We're still fully offline. Can you make offline backups and offline controls that are fully your own? of everything that you do, your notebooks and your markups of the documents on a Supernote? And the answer is, I'm delighted to say yes. And that is a very, very big deal as far as I'm concerned and for my workflow, because that's something that I've been expecting and looking for from other devices as well. And so far this one, and I believe MobiScribe Origin can also do with the notebooks, but I'm not with the documents. I'm not sure. I would have to double check. But from the big players, Supernote is the only one that actually gives you this functionality, which is pretty fantastic. Well, alrighty then. So the Supernote again shows basically the difference of the entire approach of Rata as company. And now the difference is, I mean, the paths are diverging between other devices and what Supernote is doing. And I really like what they are doing because, again, you own your own data. I mean, technically speaking, you almost don't have to. You can use Supernote offline and have all of your data or have it all on your own Google Drive. You don't have to use Supernote's account or Supernote Cloud account at all or anything like that. And that's an unprecedented level of freedom that we're seeing here, because it allows you to back everything up to it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's definitely something that I find incredibly useful and a very important point for this as a platform. So I hope that you guys find it useful as well. If you did find it useful, please like and subscribe to the channel and ding the notification bell in the description below to get notified when videos come out on My Deep Guide. And also, if you do like the work that I do, then I invite you to check out the mydeepguide.com/shop, and you can find my daily organizer there, which is a hyperlinked PDF carefully designed and made organizer for all of your yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily needs, personal, professional needs, organizing your days or whatever it may be. You can also check out the MDO playlist in the description below to see if that is a product for you or not. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!